Yeah, you can go ahead, Jay.
Yeah. Sorry, I got disconnected. So, Yogesh, hi Yogesh.
Just a second. Your voice is some clumsy.
Yeah,
Are,
it's break.
are you using any headphones?
It's a Bluetooth only. Are you able to hear me?
You can remove this Bluetooth actually.
Okay. Yogesh, are you able to hear me? Is it okay? Good or
No. The still it's
Yeah, it's like noisy. There is some disturbance in between.
you can remove this.
Ganesh? Can you go on mute? Uh, for me, it is so much clear. It is. I don't have any background noise. I don't have anything.
No, Jay.
There
Even I was on mute also the same thing. You can remove your earphones.
Okay.
issue with the headset, yeah.
Okay. Let me remove and see. So, hello. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, now it's
Yeah,
clear.
it's clear now, Jay.
It's clear now. Huh?
Yeah.
For me, it is very feeble. One second. Hold on. Yeah. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
This is fine. Huh? Okay.
Yes.
So, Yogesh, so about me, right? So, I'm a senior data engineer working in Wells Fargo. I hope you know that it is a big client. So, data engineer in the sense like my tech, I have like 15 plus years of experience in IT and 5 to 7 years of experience in big data Hadoop. Okay.
Okay.
I have I worked on core Hadoop technologies like Spark, PySpark, Hive, and various other tools. Okay, and I would like to explore AWS also, like one some of the few services I have worked on, like S3 and few other services. Like
Okay.
mainly my concentration is mainly on this DP203 Azure Data Certified Engineer, right?
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going through that, but still I need some help on completing basic understandings and other stuff to kickstart, to get more interest on that. So that is my bigger background. So
Okay.
you don't need to explain me about what is Hadoop, what is big data, what is Hive and other things. But as part of a DP203 AWS certified Azure Data Engineer, probably I need you need to put some light over there and explain me about what are the other various services.
Got
I
it.
have
Hmm.
I have undergone courses for AWS, certified associate, so solution architect associate on myself on YouTube and Udemy. Okay, I haven't taken that. So from my experience, right, my expectation will be like from AWS services also they will be asking more questions in the interview, and Azure services also they'll like other services also they'll be asking more questions. So yeah, so that is my part
So you
and
like
background
purpose
of
is like you are trying to look for another opportunity.
yes, that's right. I'm trying to look for other opportunities currently. Okay, I'm a contractor to Wells Fargo, so probably
Okay.
contract is coming to an end. Might be, we never know. So I want to upgrade myself from core big data engineer to cloud
Cloud.
data. Yeah,
Got it. Okay.
that's
So your main expertise is into like programming onto the Hadoop
yes, that's right. Yeah, like
developer.
Python. Use Python developer, right? Yeah.
Okay. So I think that will help you like when you work on the clouds
Yes,
solutions
that's
and yeah.
right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So that is my background. What about your Yogesh? I haven't haven't spoken about you with Ganesh.
Sure, I'll share my screen. Just a minute. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. Yes.
Yeah, so I have like 17 years of IT experience and 8 years into big data technologies.
Okay.
So yeah, like around 7 years is into Azure platform, Azure cloud, basically. I had
Okay.
learned like previously AWS. I have some like exposure to GCP, Google Cloud as well. But
Okay.
main core experience is into actual project experience is into Azure data platform.
Okay. Okay.
I have experience into banking, finance, automotive industry, the manufacturing industry, where I worked on telematics project where the like one device is fitted into the trucks and that data is captured into cloud. So kind of IoT related project I have worked on. Then
Okay.
healthcare domain, uh,
Okay. So
tele,
currently, where are working? Which company you're working, Yogesh?
it's a banking organization. So
Okay.
yeah, and banking experience I'm having, and then
Okay.
telecom, e-learning domain. So various industry experience I'm holding. Presently, it's like banking domain I'm working on.
Okay.
Like I have played various roles like Azure Cloud, Big Data Technology Architect, Product Manager, Scrum Master.
Okay.
Within the banking industry, I'm also working as a risk manager. Uh,
Okay.
I have experience into Microsoft Purview, which is like a new tool around 2 years back. Microsoft launched this is as a similar to Colibra. If you have heard about this, this is a data governance tool from Microsoft.
Okay.
So
Okay.
strong experience into Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure Data Explorer. All
Mm-hmm.
these are like part of Azure Data Platform services for data ingestion, data processing, or
Mm-hmm.
ETL related jobs.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then
Great.
have experience into Azure DevOps, which is
Mm.
like continuous integration and continuous deployment. So how
Okay.
you set up the infrastructure using these Azure DevOps, Azure PowerShell, ARM
Mm-hmm.
templates, which is a JSON format. So
Mm.
how you set up all this infrastructure and also the part of the code that you develop within the cloud. So
Mm.
using the DevOps CI/CD, I have that experience as well. I have
Okay.
experience into other Azure services, which is Machine Learning Studio, uh,
Mm-hmm.
the Azure SQL database. This is like ADLS Gen 2 is a storage service.
Oh, that is a storage service like ADF, Azure Data Factory. Yeah.
Azure Data Factory is a like ETL
Oh,
tool. ETL
yeah.
tool, yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
storage account and then ADLS Gen 2. This is like flavor of storage account itself, but it
okay.
has like some different features, ADLS Gen 2. And storage account is like basic storage services where you will put like all the types of files. Then
Mm-hmm.
Azure Key Vault, where we will store the passwords or the
Passwords. And
credentials, and that we will securely use to integrate with other services, even for Data Factory or Databricks, and then like all
mm-hmm.
the passwords will be securely stored and that will be integrated with these services so that there will be security related to these managing the credentials.
Yeah, I
Then
understand the vault because in our ETL also, whenever we run the job, ETL job, it will go to the vault and we raise request to update the password, create the vault and everything. Yeah.
yeah, so that will, so all this integration is important within the Azure cloud ecosystem actually, or any other services, other
Mm-hmm.
cloud providers. So the main part is the integration between these services, how to use these services. We will cover those things as part of this course. Then I have experience into setting up the Azure virtual machines, like intermediate knowledge on the networking, how the networking works. So that is also important along with the integration between these services. Networking part is also important, how you will integrate these services. What are the networking configurations or challenges that you will face while integrating? So I have that experience.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have,
Uh,
hmm.
yeah, the trainers used to tell like which company they are working, but I'm not sure about
No, it's
if
a
that.
banking. That's the reason I'm not telling you. So
Okay,
yeah,
because that is. Yeah.
because of the norms. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's the only reason, nothing else.
It is okay. 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 Yep.
Banking, yeah, pure banking, yeah.
Okay.
So as part of this, like course, we will learn about the understanding of the cloud services within the cloud. So we'll cover
Mm-hmm.
the basics of Azure cloud, even though like there are data services, but prior to that, we will understand the hierarchy, how it works actually within the Azure. The within GCP, it will be different. Within AWS, it will be different.
Yeah, we
So
can correlate, right? But yeah.
So it will be like considering the hierarchy, how these resources are structured within the cloud. Then we will understand the types of data. So consider like structured
Okay.
data, semi-structured data, unstructured data, because this is part of the implementing the solutions. While selecting the services, implementing these solutions, you need to select the proper service, how you will use that, what is the data format that needs to be used. So that's the
Okay.
reason we need to understand those things as
Mhm.
part of the.
We can simulate, we can run some ETL job, like,
Yes,
getting some
yes, will yes. So
and
the part of this course I'll cover as part of the theoretical as well as
Mhm.
the lab. I will show the theory, I will explain the theory part, and then I will show the lab in the
Okay. So in
Azure portal.
non-technical, like, we use Python, right? Python language for the transformation, right?
Yes.
So many kind of transformation, data frames and other transformations. So here, how it will be for Azure data engineering?
Yeah, so I'll just go to this one. So Azure Data Factory, it is no code solution, ETL solution.
Yes. Okay.
So where you will have the drag and drop options where you just select the required activity within the data factory and create your end-to-end pipeline. Pipeline
Mhm.
meaning a set of activities. So which, for example,
Right from extraction to transformation and then to load, right? That's what.
yeah, copy the data, ingest the data into the cloud first, then do the transformations, which is no
Okay.
code again.
No code
The
architecture. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Within the data bricks, you will have the that option to write the Python, Spark
Mm-hmm.
SQL, PySpark code, Scala code. So those options are available within the Databricks. So it
Database.
provides the Spark cluster to execute your jobs, the data processing, data transformation jobs. For that, how you will integrate it with the ADL agent to the storage services, right?
So
How you will bring the data into
my question,
Databricks.
like, server, right? For AWS, we use EMR, right? Server to process the PySpark job, right? So here, Azure, what we will use it? Like,
It is It is Azure Databricks service you will use here.
okay, okay. Hmm.
So
Okay.
Databricks are a different organization where Microsoft have collaborated
Mm.
with them, and that service is within the Microsoft Azure. Same service is within AWS also.
Yes, yes. I have some, my free account is there. I will use to just do some.
So if you learn Databricks, like configuration, the access, all those like control plane related changes will be different within AWS, and within Azure it will be different. But the
Mm.
service, the original service will remain as it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Got it, got it.
But
Yeah.
the benefit that you will get within Azure is that the integration between these services.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you consider the Databricks, it needs to connect with the SQL database, it need to connect with the Power BI, it need to connect with the storage services. So that is the reason you will get the enterprise level like capabilities while using the services within Azure.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
This Synapse analytics is for what? Like,
So it is having the data warehouse actually, and
database.
yeah,
Okay. Mm.
and basically what they have done is they have integrated these two services within this one. So that's the
We
reason I have kept this flow as data factory first, then we'll go like first we'll start with the storage services, then we'll start with the ADF and Databricks, and then we'll go to Synapse Analytics.
Okay, okay, got it. So these services, whatever you have mentioned here, it covers for DP 203 exam, right? I think so.
Yes, yes, yes. So
Okay.
these services, Data Factory and Databricks, they
Mm-hmm.
clubbed into this Synapse Analytics, this service.
Synapse analytics. Okay, okay. All right.
And there
Mm.
is new service recently launched by Microsoft, which is Microsoft Fabric. It's very new actually.
Sorry, Microsoft Fabrics. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Mm-hmm.
think
But
it's a
cost
deep.
oriented, right? Will that be cost oriented, or I mean, we
Sorry,
cannot do practice accounts in that, or can we do some practice accounts in?
you can do practice. You can get like I think $200 if you have not previously created Azure account. Then you can do that with basic. You can set up the things. So I will show the costing
Yeah,
part as well. I will cover that as well as part of this course,
I
like
already
how.
have account, free account. I mean, whatever it is free, I have
Yeah,
already
for
have an account.
storages, it will be very low cost actually. For SQL DB, there will be some cost.
Yeah,
But again, if we choose the lowest configuration,
Mm,
in worst case, like you will have like 1,000 to 2,000 like Indian rupees. So depending on the options that you will select or the
mhm.
on the basis of use that will be charged to you.
Okay. Yeah.
So these couple of then other services are Stream Analytics and the Azure Event Hubs. So this is mainly used for ingesting the streaming data, like data coming from devices or data coming from like streaming devices. So it depends on the use case again. So in most of the projects, these either of these will be used.
Correct. Correct. Streaming. Yeah. Kafka in our current this company, we use Kafka, but we just do the configuration files and we do the extraction and transform and load. We
Okay,
don't develop Kafka as such, API as such,
Kafka
but
jobs. Yeah.
just configure it in a configuration file, and we will use Postman to to feed the data, and I mean to get that data, and then we will process and load it into S3.
Yeah, so same, we have option for these services. The Azure PowerShell, the ARM templates are there, AZCLI are there. So those also we will cover if you are interested into that, like as part of the
Mm-hmm.
day-to-day jobs. Yeah. So those are the SDKs provided by Microsoft. CLI commands are provided. So those can be used
Mm-hmm.
to automate the jobs that we will be doing from the UI.
Okay, okay.
There are various SDKs. Python SDKs are also there. Then .NET is also there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But mostly we use PowerShell, AZCLI, ARM templates. In some cases, Python will be used.
Mm, you mean to
We,
say the PyCharm, right? That's the SDK. PyCharm and IntelliJS,
yeah,
or,
those are
specific
IDs. IDs, I think. Those are
ID.
like
Okay.
IDs. SDKs are kind of software development kits.
Software development.
Meaning that like whatever you are doing the operations from the UI from the Azure portal, the
Mm-hmm.
same thing you will be able to do using the these SDKs provided by Microsoft. So for
Okay.
example, you have to set up 100 Azure virtual machines. So you will
Okay.
not go to the Azure portal and manually keep creating those one by one, like 100 times. So for that,
Okay.
what Microsoft has provided is these kind of utilities, we can say, or the software options using which
Okay.
you can automate that infrastructure creation jobs as well.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that is the purpose of using these SDKs or the PowerShell or CLI
Mm-hmm. Okay.
to automate the jobs. The another
Mm.
thing is when you develop anything from in the development environment. So in general, you will have the let's say I'll just draw it here. Dev UAT. You might be familiar with these things, right?
Yes. Yes. Dev, SIT, UAT. Yeah.
Prod. So once
Okay.
you develop the code into dev environment, then you can deploy it using these templates actually, ARM templates.
Okay. Deployment. Okay. Like Jenkins deployment kind of thing, or
Jenkins also you will use, but I mean I'm not familiar with that. Mostly
okay.
Azure DevOps will be used.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
So again, it is another service within the Azure.
Okay. Like CI,
Even
one of the services for CI/CD,
correct.
right?
So
Okay.
even it integrates with AWS.
Integrates with the AWS as well. Okay.
Yeah, it
What is
integrates. Sorry,
what is that called? What that service is called?
this one
Azure
DevOps.
DevOps only. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Azure DevOps. The short form is ADO.
ADO. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Mm.
they call it as ADO. So using which we can do the deployments from dev to UAT and prod. So that automation will happen. So
Okay.
that
Got
is
it.
the
Got
purpose of using these templates, ARM templates, which are nothing but the JSON templates. So that's what
Okay.
I will cover as part of this course as well. So it is not only,
Where this one, the ARM template, that's, I understand that it's a, I mean, kind of deployment, we use that one, right?
yeah.
So moving from one region to another region. So how do we compare to the on-premises? How do we compare that? Like,
So
on.
if you've previously heard about the version control tools like
Okay. Version
i-
control tools.
so it again has its own Git
GitHub.
repository,
Yeah, GitHub is the repository, right? Yeah.
its own its own repository is there. So standard GitHub is different, right?
Correct.
It is enterprise GitHub. It's a different one.
Okay.
It's a different one, which is a altogether different organization, we can say. Within
Okay.
Azure DevOps, it provides us the Git repositories. It's own managed by Azure.
Okay.
So whenever we are creating these services, all for example, Azure Data Factory, we can
Mm-hmm.
integrate that with Azure DevOps.
Okay.
So whatever you are developing in the dev environment, or multiple members from the team are developing the pipelines within Data Factory, those will be stored into Azure DevOps. Its kind
Oh,
of version control will also happen. So once you save all your work and you are ready for UAT and production, we will be able to create the release pipelines. So there is option to create release pipelines.
okay.
Release pipelines means once you have the setup into dev environment, you will override the parameters with respect to your UAT or
Environment.
UAT and production environment. So your
Yeah.
storage account name will be different, your Azure Key Vault name will be different. So whatever are the configurations, like Microsoft or Azure will automatically capture those for dev environment into DevOps. So
Okay.
that is again a beauty or a good feature that Microsoft will provide. So once you have those things ready, you will just override the parameters with respect to your higher environments.
Okay.
By changing this, you will create release pipelines and then your code will be deployed to higher environment.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
So that is the purpose of using those ADO and these SDKs actually.
Okay. And Event Hubs, what is that? Azure Event Hubs?
EventHub, it's like it will capture the events coming from the devices.
Okay.
Any event coming, even for example, this also works with the storage account. So what
Okay.
happens, let's say I want to trigger a job when a file is uploaded to the storage account.
Okay.
From on-premise, I want to push a file to the storage account. And as soon as the file comes into the storage account, I want to trigger the next job. It could be anything that I want to plan. Let's say I want to copy that file to Azure SQL database,
Okay.
or I want to do some activity on that. So it is kind of event management. So any event is happening that will be managed and triggered.
Okay. Got it. So
So
what are the activities? I mean, or what are the, see, just we'll, you said we will do the practical as well, right? So,
correct. Yeah, I will show the practical as well. So I'll just start with the basics of cloud, which you are already aware, right? Uh, for
yeah.
compute, we will have the machines. For storage, we have the storage services as well as database services provided by the cloud providers. We have the
Yeah.
web applications. We have the analytical solutions, the data processing like Databricks or the Synapse Analytics. Then the visualization, we have the Power BI option in Microsoft
Yeah. Okay.
and data governance. So within the like large organizations, how data is organized, where the data is residing, what are the data sources. So what purview or the data governance tools will capture is the metadata about the data.
Okay.
For example, I have like hundreds of SQL DBs in my organization. I want to know the location of all those location, meaning the uh, where those are stored, who is using, who is the author, who is the owner of that database, which team is using that, what is
Okay.
the, is it from the sales department or is it from the marketing department? So all that information you will get as part of the metadata within this purview governance tool,
Okay.
so that it will give the higher, like all the visibility to the top level management or to the organization, how their data is structured within the organization, who is owning which data. And if within the organization they want to communicate and use that data for like different projects, then they will get that information, they will provide the access control. So that's like again a different service which will have a different detailed sessions or like a course on this purview.
Okay. Mhm. Okay.
And many other services are there. I just listed few of them.
Okay.
Coming to the types of data, this is very important while working to on the data engineering part, right? So
Mhm.
usually, like previously, we used to work on the structured data only. We used to have the Oracle or the SQL tables, and then we
Mhm.
used to do the processing within that only using the SSSIS packages, if you know about that within the SQL DB,
Mhm.
on-prem SQL DBs. Now the similar capabilities are expanded within the cloud using the Azure SQL database, for example. So all the Excel, CSV, all the
Mhm.
structured data which will have columns and rows. That's called as the structured data.
Mhm.
Unstructured data is raw data. For example, the comments or given or the reviews given by the users on the various
Mhm.
blog sites or the product sites like Amazon or on the Facebook, like various raw text is there, right? It's like plain English language written by
Correct.
different users.
Pass that to structured data, and then we need to process it, right?
Correct. So that will come as part of the natural language processing. So if we have to do some analysis on that as well, if you
Mhm.
have seen that we get the sentiment analysis, like how are the reviews of specific
Yeah.
uh,
Sentimental predictions.
yeah,
Yeah.
so for that we need this unstructured data. Even though it is unstructured, it is in very raw format. But we need to understand the sentiments. We need to get some insights as part of the business use case. For that reason, there is a requirement of processing the unstructured data as well. So that's the
Mhm.
reason we need to capture those things as well. In other scenarios, we will have like organizations will have images, videos. So to store that huge amount of data, we will need some storage, the raw form of the data. So in that case, we will use the blob storage. Again, within the blob storage, we have option as hot storage and cold storage. Hot storage meaning you will frequently use that. Cold storage means, let's say, there are organization requirements in healthcare domain or research domain where you need to keep the records of the old documents. For
Yeah, it will take
example,
some time to read it, right?
no, you,
Like in
yeah,
we can store it, and we can easily. Sometimes it be if it is hot storage, it will get we will give, it will be readable immediately.
correct.
If it is cold storage, it will be right.
Cold storage will be like infrequently used storage. Like, for example, your bank statement. Let's say you want your 1 year bank statement. You will not
Mm.
frequently use it. So whenever
Correct.
you will request for it, then only that action will be triggered
Yeah.
and then that data will be fetched. So
Mm.
similarly in healthcare domains, they will
I
have,
understand. Deep diving into some theoretical part. I just want to understand what are the practical things we will be discussing during our course of. So, for example, what are the things you can show doing practically? We need to do it, and probably I need to understand that, right? So, what are the
sure.
things? Yeah.
Yeah,
So, what are the things
I'll
practically we
share,
can
yeah, I'll share the browser.
do? You have the list now, or you know?
Yeah, so practically what we will do is we will create all these services. I will show that how to create all these services. Can you see my browser?
Yeah, yeah. I have. I can see your browser. Yeah.
So what we will do is we will create all these services. For example, the data factory, we will create
Yeah.
Key Vault, SQL database. We will
Mm.
create virtual machine as well.
Okay.
We will create the pipelines within the Azure Data Factory to copy the data from storage account to SQL database. We can also see like copying the data from on-prem, like from your machine to cloud. So all this, we will create storage accounts. I'm just giving you the like overview from the slides that what we are going to learn. So practically, I am going to show you all those things. As I mentioned, there will be two things, theory plus practical. If you want to skip theory, I'll just go to the practicals. I'll show the configuration. So within this practical sessions, what we will learn is about creating the services. For example, I'll show you creation of the Azure Data Factory service. We will create this service. So during the process, we will learn these options. What are these options? Why we need to understand these? What will be the that also we will skip like depending on your interest if you are not but just I'll give the basics like
And say
see
from ETL perspective, I'm thinking like, so from extracting from SQL database and
yes
or
yes yes
and then we do some transformation and then we load it into the storage, right? Storage, Azure storage. So from that perspective, I'm saying what are the various transformations you can explain to me or you can show to me.
sure so if you consider this service itself will have let's say a couple of sessions actually.
Oh, in the
Uh,
service itself, you have a lot of transformations
correct,
options
I'll
available.
just let me create this service.
Mhm.
So this option I was talking about, the Git configuration,
Okay.
Azure DevOps, if you see this one. So we will have option to integrate it with the Azure DevOps. So I'll just keep this as of now. Then I'll explain these parts as well, like the
Yeah.
configuration.
Now currently we are just doing some high level other
Yeah,
things.
high level.
What
So
I'm expecting is like we will extract the SQL records from the SQL database and we do these many transformations like
yes, I
aggregate.
will show that. I'm creating this one.
Even if we list it down, also it should be fine. Like we okay.
Yeah.
So show
So yeah, that
time.
whatever you are looking is part of this data factory service
Okay.
using the no code. Same is the thing within the Synapse Analytics.
Okay.
Same is the thing in the Synapse Analytics, and through programming, we will do the similar operations within the Databricks using PySpark or Spark SQL
Yeah,
language.
that is what I want to know. Using
Yeah,
PySpark, the PySpark jobs, and
that
then
will be part of the Databricks. The same also we can do within Synapse. As I mentioned, Synapse is a like a combination of ADF. You will see that. Like, let me create this one.
mhm. Only more into this data engineering part.
Yes, I will cover those. So don't worry about that. Like today,
Okay.
I'm just giving the overview of all the
Okay.
things. Yeah,
Okay.
because yeah, these will be like detailed sessions, how to create these services.
Yes, create each and every pointer is important, right? So probably for detailing, it's required. I
So
just
I'm
want
not
to know.
just going to the like showing you the internals of these services, but how to create these services, how to effectively use those services. I will show those things as well.
Okay.
So now I have created this Azure Data Factory instance. So I'll again explain some of these concepts as well. What happens where with managed identities, what is networking,
Mhm.
what some of the other options here, diagnostic setting. So there is option, there is topic related to these as well, metrics and alerts, monitoring
Monitoring.
your monitoring part. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So I will cover those as well because those will be very detailed sessions. Once we start each and every service, there is
So
theory
totally,
part
how many hours it is kind of you usually do it? Like
around
you.
20 hours. So depending on that, we will change like we will, if you are okay with some of the topics, we will move to the next one. If you have any additional questions, we will spend more time on that. So it will
Okay.
be interactive session. It won't be like whatever we are having just now. So it's good that you are asking question. You have good background on the big data technology. So
Mhm.
whatever your queries will be there, we'll answer that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So if you see this, like when we launch this service, again within the service we have many options, right? So we need to cover these in detail.
Okay. Okay.
So for example, this is within the data factory, we have option to create the pipelines. The set
Mm-hmm.
of it will have the set of activities. We
Mm-hmm.
have the data sets. Data sets like as I mentioned, the structured and structured data, the types of data, the JSON file, XML file, TXT file,
Yeah.
CSV file, Excel file. Data
Mm-hmm.
flows will have the transformations.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Like from a scheduling perspective, what is the service here?
So
From
for
on-premise.
scheduling the jobs, so you have option to add the triggers.
Okay. Any
So
schedulers here?
this
This
is
is
the
just.
scheduler. This is the
Oh,
scheduler.
okay.
So you will have option here. So you will create a trigger here. What is the
Mm-hmm. Just.
frequency that you want, like every 15 minutes, every day, every week, every month?
Okay. Have
So
you heard
that,
of the Process scheduler or CA7 scheduler? Hope you would have heard it, right? Like
no, no, which one?
Autosys is like the scheduler jobs. Like it schedules con jobs or Unix jobs. Say for
Yes,
example, if you want to schedule job daily, we will
that that
discuss that.
also that also you can integrate with this one, but it is
Okay.
Microsoft is providing the native services, right?
Okay.
All the services are managed, but yeah, you want to integrate, for example, you want to integrate a data factory pipeline with the Autosys, you need
Mm,
to write your custom code. That's why the PowerShell will come into picture.
okay. Okay.
So
Otherwise, they have the native services. We can use that and.
correct, correct. So that's the preferred way. So it depends on your organization project, how you want to set up
Correct.
those
Some
things.
organization, yeah, how they want to do.
So
Yeah.
the SDKs or this part that I was talking, that you need to customize according to your requirement.
SDK, okay. Software development. Okay.
Just a minute. So these PowerShell commands will be there. If you see
Okay.
here, .NET, Python, REST, Bicep,
Okay. Okay.
Azure CLI. If you see create data factory programmatically.
Okay.
So all the operations that we will be doing from the UI, the similar operations are available from the programming side.
Practically. But that will. Okay. Okay. Got it.
That's like up to your interest choice of the organization.
Mm,
That's kind of like depending on the use case based.
Use case based. Got it. Got it. I understand that.
Yeah. So these commands we will learn. So
Mhm.
some of these, like I will show. If you see whatever we did from the UI, we can just do using this code.
Correct.
As data factory create, I just need to provide the data factory name and data factory, the resource group name where I want to create it, and then
Mm,
the Azure data factory name.
yeah. Okay. Got it.
And then we will have like more options, the parameter options, which we want to set. Like what we seen on the portal, the similar options will be available in the command line.
Okay. Okay.
So for example, I'll just show here. So if you see, there are like many activities are here.
Okay.
So this will have the option to do the copy data, this activity. After
Copied.
that, sorry,
Copy data from one region, one
one
environment on
source to another source.
another source. Okay.
So that's the reason these will be like detailed sessions. So if you consider here source, I need to first create a source data set. I need to tell Azure Data Factory where is my source data, what is the type of that data. So
Okay.
for
Okay.
that, I need to create the like connection first. For
Exactly.
example, I want to copy the data from the blob storage. Then I need to select that specific option. So there are around 200 plus connectors available from Microsoft. If you see this list,
Got it, got it.
Azure
From
services are there, file system is there, right? HDFS is there, Hive is there, HBase is there. If you have those on-prem like data sources as well, you can connect to that as well. Microsoft Access, MongoDB. The standard options are available that we use in Java, ODBC and JDBC.
Correct, correct, correct. Yes, yes.
So which are used in programming languages. So the use of data factory is that you will just create these from drag and drop option. You will just select these services, these options, configurations. Then we have this Oracle, PostgreSQL. Even you can do REST API calls as well from data factory.
Okay, okay. Got it, got it. That's
You
fine. Yeah. Okay, sure.
Yeah, so we can connect to SharePoint, Salesforce as well, another cloud services as well.
Okay.
So these categories they have mentioned, even mainframe database as well, DB2. So in most
Yeah.
of the projects, there will be like requirement to copy data from on-prem mainframe services to the cloud.
Okay, got it.
So in the standard file system, so for example, you want to copy the data from your laptop to Azure cloud. So this also you can do, or from the servers that you have within your organization, let's say, where the data is into CSV or Excel formats, and you have the like access to that server, you can copy that files. So for example, one application is daily processing some files and which are stored onto the server, that you can copy from using ADF to the like wherever you required.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so that we will go through in detail like once we start these services.
Okay, okay.
So we have to go through in detail of like
Anything
configuring
else?
these.
Anything which you will not cover, like, like this, these are the other topics I will not cover, right? So whatever you have covered, you have said. Anything like the topics saying that that is out of our scope, say, for example, machine learning, right? So that is definitely that will be
Yeah,
out of
that
scope.
is out of scope actually. So mainly I'll cover these services as I mentioned, storage services, Azure SQL database, Azure Databricks I will cover. Then Azure Key Vault also I will show, Azure Data Factory, Azure Synapse Analytics, the stream analytics, event hubs.
Okay,
Azure
okay.
DevOps I will show that like overview as well.
Yeah, Azure
Other
DevOps
service
altogether is a different,
that's a
different.
CI/CD, but yeah, but I'm just giving the overview. Like that will also help you, like for interview. If you see here option to set up a code repository,
Correct, correct.
because that if you are looking for job, those will be the questions for you as well. It is
That is for
not.
DevOps engineer, right? For a DevOps
No,
professional.
no.
Okay. Mm.
You
Not
should
for
know.
even for a data engineer, we should be knowing it. Like,
Yes, yes. At
mm,
least basic, you should know like how you are configuring that.
okay, okay. Okay.
Because in most of the organizations, they will not have the DevOps as well, engineers.
Correct, correct. Exactly.
If you even if you see in most of the data science, machine learning projects also, this data engineering plus data science work will be clubbed by same person.
Okay. They do the models as well.
Models
Mm.
will be, they will be doing data engineering, they will be doing in some cases the data visualization.
Yeah, correct,
So
correct.
roles are different, but in some organizations they will expect the same person to do the some of the things
Okay,
out
got
of
it.
his job role. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So here again, I will show you the this Azure Cloud Shell.
Hmm.
So there are many things actually. Like as we continue this learning journey, it will be like
Endless, I know that. Yeah.
yeah, it will be endless.
Yeah, just for like, so basically, right? So cloud data engineer with the like 15 years, you know
So
what are the
may more time than we will
right,
spend on to the data factory, Azure
right.
Synapse Analytics, Databricks, and then we will learn about. First, we'll go through the storage services as well.
Mm-hmm. Correct, correct. So you got my background,
I
right? I was fully corely into this
and
core big data Hadoop background. Okay, few AWS services I have used it, but not extensively also. Okay, just we go to S3 and we will run some query and see that okay whether the extracted record from SQL or Kafka it's getting loaded or not. That's it. And few transformations here and there with jobs we will run it.
No, that's the
Okay.
reason I will take from all the basics. Like
Mm-hmm.
you might feel it as boring some of the theoretical parts, but that is required, must.
Correct,
If you
correct.
want, I will skip that because what you will face the challenges in the organization that you will learn
Correct.
here as well. What kind of issues you will face and how
Mm.
to debug. I will teach you that as well.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
If you always go through the happy path and
That's
in organization, you will certainly face different challenges.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
How many practice you will have the core thing in my journey or my experience, I will tell you, learn
mm-hmm.
from the failures, errors,
Correct.
whatever,
So,
because every setup is different, every configuration is different within the organization.
mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
how to debug it, how to fix it, that error, how to identify, troubleshoot that error, that also I will tell you. Happy path also I'm going to tell you, but I will tell you where you will face the issue.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay. And
And
15 plus 15 years of experience with 5 to 6 years, 7 years in big data and cloud, right? So, like you might be seeing the resume, like what are the things they will be asking it, right? So, from Azure
yeah, that's
perspective,
the reason I'm telling you these things.
mm-hmm.
The this code repository part, the CLI part, this will add a value to your CV.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know these things, but you have these additional information knowledge as well.
Command level command interface commands, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So depending on your interest, we can just focus the required part. But
Okay.
what like
But, certification is mandatory. This, I mean, you might be interviewing, or you might be looking out for opportunity also. The DP203 certification is very mandatory for cloud data, or is an additional
it's kind of
things.
additional or in some cases just a selection criteria. But important is like what you write on your resume, what is your like practice or real-time experience is.
That is what important. Okay.
Yeah, many times like people are having DP203 certification, but they don't answer the basic questions related to the integration of these services. For
Okay. Okay.
example, how you will integrate Azure Data Factory with Azure Databricks. I want to run a job. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of real life scenarios.
Right. Right.
So I want to trigger Azure Databricks job from the Data Factory. I want to connect, I want to run Azure function from Data Factory. How
Mm-hmm.
you will configure, what are the configuration options available. So,
Mm-hmm.
so this is just UI here. So actual job will be done here. So within the manage, you will have the integration runtimes. Integration runtimes are nothing but the compute services. These
Mm-hmm.
are, you can consider these a set of like machines managed by Microsoft in the backend. We do not need to worry about this part.
We just go to the logs and we just see it, right? Because
Yeah, we will just select. So all these configurations are important actually.
mm-hmm.
So when
Okay.
you mention in your CV ARM templates also, so that means you know about the deployment, you know about what is ARM template, what is
Mm-hmm.
happening within that. So all these things we will learn about it.
Okay.
Within the storage again, I'll just show to you. See, while creating the service itself, there are multiple configuration options.
Mm-hmm.
See these things, geo redundant storage. See,
Mm.
So in interview or in exam, you will have these questions related to this.
Okay.
So that's the reason that theory part is important for interview and exam perspective
Oh yeah, got
and
it, got it.
and
Yeah.
concept point of view.
That is most important, right? Yeah, definitely. If you don't know what is locally redundant and geo redundant, it will be then
Yeah, so in exam you might get these exam and in even interview also.
interview also. Yes, yes, got it. Yeah.
In exam also they will provide you the scenario based questions. So which option to select in this case? So that's what they will ask. So
Okay,
that's
okay.
what also we will cover. If you want, we'll skip. I know that is very boring, but like in terms of understanding the concept, it is very good because that will create your foundation.
Correct, correct.
Later
Exactly.
on, you don't need to go and check what is this, what is this.
Okay, okay. Sure.
It will be like one time activity. More than you need to spend time onto the practicals.
Sure, sure, Yogesh. Yeah. I think I'm good. Yeah. So anything from your side do you want to?
Yeah, so that's what I will cover like as part of, if you see these configurations, various types of configurations will be there. So
Okay.
each service we will create, you can also practice like after the sessions and you can come back with the queries.
Okay. Great, great.
And
Yeah.
then what we will do is we will copy data from on-prem to storage account or from Azure storage account to Azure SQL DB. So in every session, we will be growing gradually. First, we will
Okay.
learn the concepts of that specific topic. We will create that service. Then gradually we will create the other services. We will integrate those services. We will run the jobs.
Okay.
If you are looking just for practical purpose, I'll start from that way as well. But if you will get like questions on that, like why this is,
Correct,
then
correct.
yeah,
The theory is important, right? Without theory, we cannot directly jump into practical, right?
yeah. So that will help you in three ways, like concept understanding. Second is
Yeah.
exam point of view, and third is interview point of view.
Sure, sure, sure. I got it. I got it. Theory is important. We cannot skip that, right? So,
Yeah, later on, like day-to-day basis, you will spend time on this only, but that's the kind of practice that you need to do. Once you
yes, yes.
understand the concept, why, what is this component, why this is called as this, what is the purpose of that component. So those things are important.
Okay.
What I will not cover is like job specific requirement actually, because most of the time people have that understanding that this course will help me to resolve my current job related activities. That's kind of job support related activity actually, not the training, I would say.
Correct, correct, correct. I got it. Yeah. Job
Bec-
support will be completely different. Yeah.
yeah, because that environment will be totally different. Let's say you learn these things, but your environment setup is different, your access within your organization will be managed differently.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So that also I will tell you how, like high level, the hierarchy within the Azure cloud ecosystem, how the access control is managed, how the resources are structured. So that understanding is very important. In some cases, there you will find issue. Let's say there is a new Azure service. First, we need to enable the resource providers. So we'll
Okay.
learn those in detail, like as we start the course. Yeah.
Okay, Yogesh. Yeah.
Yeah. Any additional questions you are having?
No, I think I'm good. Yeah. Okay. Currently, I'm good. Yeah. We look forward to work with you. Yeah. Let's see.
Sure.
All right.
So, you don't have any questions, right? Like Jay?
No, no, Ganesh. Currently, I don't have any questions. I will keep you posted. Okay. Just give me a day, one
Okay.
day time. I will. Yeah. Okay.
Also, we can come up with the timings as well. With the same
Sure.
times, but if not, like you can let me know if you need the timings.
Anything can come up. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Okay,
Okay.
Ganesh. I will
Okay.
talk to you tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Yogesh. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.